What's poppin'? It's your boy. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And guess what? New York Knicks basketball is back. Summer League basketball, but it's back, ladies and gentlemen. And we don't have a big primetime rookie, to tout out there like a Jaden Ivey or anyone like that. But you know what? We got Quentin Grimes. We got Jericho Sims. We got Miles McBride. And we got Trevor Keels. So we got some guys to look out for. Figure out what they're going to be for the New York Knicks. I got my man Andy in the building. Haven't seen Andy in what seems like forever, ladies and gentlemen. And we got Tony Crow here. We're going to go ahead and break this thing down. Andy, what's popping with you, brother? How you feeling?
What up, Sim? What up, Tone? What up to the chat? Listen, I had a little vacation. But now I'm back. And I hope to get rolling finally. Back with you guys on not only the NBK show. I'm going to be able to hop on one of the crossover shows this week probably. Yeah, so that might be fun. And listen, like you said, Sim, the Knicks are back. So let's see what they're going to offer us.
The Knicks are back. It's not the prime time regular season back, but it's enough to hold us over for a little while. At least we get a nice week of basketball. Then we can go back to all of our rumors and all that kind of stuff. Tony, what's going on, brother? How you feeling?
What's going on, Sam? International Andy, what's up? Shout out to the chat. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the Summer League veterans, the guys that have been here before.
Right.
And see what they show. I want to see some dominance, some dominance.
Yeah. The New York Knicks tonight, ladies and gentlemen, they play the Golden State Warriors at 8:00. And we'll take a quick look at the Knicks Summer League roster, and then we'll look at the Warriors roster because the Warriors got a slew of players on their Summer League team. All right, so for the New York Knicks, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not a subscriber, please make sure you subscribe right now and ring that notification bell so you'll be notified anytime I go live. But when you look at the New York Knicks Summer League roster, there's going to be names on there that you're not really familiar with, right? Because, Summer League, and you're not going to get all of those names that you're used to. Except for the Golden State Warriors, they might have a couple of names that you're used to. But for the Knicks, you got Javon Blair, Garrison Brooks, Vince Edwards, Quentin Grimes. You guys know about Quentin Grimes. Farron Hunt. He played a couple of games with the Knicks at the end of last season. Daquan Jeffries, Trevor Keels. He's the Knicks' second-round pick. Miles McBride, one of the Knicks' second-round pick from last season. Jan Montero. There's a lot of talk about this kid, and I'm pretty sure we're going to have a conversation about him today. He played last season for the Overtime Elite. A high school pro team, ladies and gentlemen. The kid's got some talent. Micah Potter, Quentin Rose, Deshaun Schwartz, Amir Sims, Jericho Sims, MJ Walker. That's the roster right there, ladies and gentlemen. And then the head coach of the Knicks Summer League team is Dice Yoshimoto. And we're going to take a look at some of these players and let you know their positions and stuff like that as we go on. For the Golden State Warriors, they have a lot of guys, ladies and gentlemen. They have a lot of people out there on their team. You know what I mean? Starting with Jonathan Kuminga, ladies and gentlemen. Now, you know Jonathan Kuminga because he's been playing with the Golden State Warriors, right? He was drafted with them. And he played for the NBA G League Ignite. He's a player that's played in the league, but, second-year player. It makes sense that he's going to play for the Summer League team. You got Ryan Rollins, Moses Moody. You know about Moses Moody as well. Patrick Baldwin Jr., Justinian Jessup, Quindry Weatherspoon, G. Santos, Udai Baba, Jared Uthoff. A couple of names that's kind of hard to pronounce, but Salome Malby, Lester Quinones, Alex Morales, Peyton Willis, Caleb Liddell, Gabriel, and I'm not exactly sure how to say his last name, James Wiseman, ladies and gentlemen, is on the Golden State Warriors Summer League team. J.D. Note, Joel Ntabwe, hopefully I said that correctly, Dustin Sleever, and Mac McClung. So those are the players for the Golden State Warriors Summer League team. Now, obviously, all of those guys aren't going to play in one game, right? There's going to be different guys that play in different games and all of that. But this is what the Knicks are in for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about some of these guys and what we expect or what we would like to see happening. Let's start with you, Andy. What is it that you want to see from the Knicks Summer League team this season? We don't have a big time, first round, a rookie drafted in the first round, right? Trevor Keels was drafted in the second round. Jan Montero was a guy that the Knicks signed, an undrafted rookie. So what are your expectations from these guys this season?
So for me, I am trying to live my whole life with a new mantra that I'm not going to have huge expectations from anything. I'd rather be pleasantly surprised from any kind of stuff that happens than unpleasantly surprised and let down and stuff like that. So I'm literally expecting Miles McBride, Quentin Grimes, Jericho Sims. I'd even add here Amir Sims and MJ Walker, because we saw them, last year in the Summer League, and we saw them in the Westchester Knicks, at least MJ Walker. So we kind of know their game. I hope that they will really separate themselves from the rest of the guys that we have on this roster, right? I understand that Trevor Keels is a rookie. I have no expectations from that kid. He's a second-round pick. Looking at our roster, I don't see him getting minutes unless we are really, really in injury trouble, like throughout the board. I think he's going to be, stuck in the G League literally through the whole season. Mm-hmm. And that might be good for him because, just riding around and picking up the luggage for the vets, sometimes going to be better, but I think playing time is going to be more important in his case. Yeah. So like I said, I'm expecting Miles McBride, Quentin Grimes, and Jericho Sims to stand out of this whole pack. The one guy that you mentioned that we signed to the Exhibit 10 contract, Jean Montero, I saw his highlights. Mm-hmm. If he can bring the same thing, the same energy, the same quickness, and the rest of his, pros to this summer league, appearance, not only this game, just throughout the summer league for the Knicks, he might be one of the guys that's gonna, surprise and might get one of those two-way contracts that the Knicks, still have. They still have one left, right?
So according to Ian Begley, Farron Hunt has one of the two-way contracts, and Trevor Keels has one in the two-way contract. So he'd be
Trevor
taking
Keels. Yeah, I knew that, but I was thinking that Farron Hunt might be, that two-way contract might be still from last season. I don't know if he has a new one or.
I think it's still from last season. So I don't know if I don't know how long they last. You know what I mean? If you have to waive them or terminate that two-way contract before it's over with. I'm assuming that the Knicks are going to, just leave it as it is until they see what Montero brings during the summer league and then during training camp, and then we might see Farron Hunt get waived or whatever, and then Montero take that spot.
Yeah, exactly. And even if that's not going to be the case, I still, him being in the G League still is going to, get him playing time. Listen, the worst thing that can happen for these guys on the Summer League roster, if they don't stay even in the G League, just they go to Europe. Financially, it might be better for them. But I don't think Knicks scouts are going to be watching these guys and flying around Europe just to pick up, a game or two live from, I don't know, Poland, Israel, whatever country they're going to get a contract with, right? So for them being closer to the NBA, closer in the States, is going to be a better situation.
Yeah. Tony, just real quick, because I do want to take another look at the players and their positioning and you know what schools they played for and stuff like that. But what are your expectations?
Well, first off, let me amend my statement because I said dominate, and I never even thought to look at the opposing team's roster. So when you put that up, you know they have just as many seasoned vets.
Seasons, yeah,
You know what I
if you
mean?
want to call them
In
vets,
this-
right? Yeah,
So yeah, this is gonna be a good test right off the jump. I'm still looking for Quentin Grimes to be that guy on this squad. Show some more than what we've seen from you. We know what you can do defensively, shooting, but can you expand that? And this is your time. You might not get the opportunity moving forward, or you may have to show what you can do to get the opportunity moving forward. I know Tibbs loves you as a 3-and-D guy and what you bring there, but I mean, and maybe Tibbs seen it, but we haven't really seen it. We've been questioning and asking about it in previous episodes. So yeah, domination from him, expansion in the game of Sims as well, and Deuce to be aggressive, because that young boy behind him is going to be aggressive.
yeah.
So
Yeah. Real quick, I just want to go down the list of the players one more time and their position and all that kind of stuff, so that we have an idea of who they are. You know about Miles McBride, ladies and gentlemen, right? Miles McBride, he's in his second season, 6'2", 200 pounds, played for West Virginia.
That's that dude on my wall.
That's the dude on Andy's wall. That's the dude behind Andy on the wall. Quentin Grimes, he'll be wearing number 6, 205 pounds. He's 6'5", 205 pounds, 22 years old, played for Houston. Trevor Keels, the Knicks second-round pick. He's 18 years old, ladies and gentlemen. He'll turn 19 on August the 26th, so he's very young still. All right, he played for Duke. He's a rookie this year. Deshaun Schwartz is a rookie this year. He's 23 years old. He played at George Mason. 6'7", 232 pounds. He's a forward. By the way, Trevor Keels is a guard. Daquan Jeffries is a forward, 6'5", 230 pounds. He played for Tulsa. He's 24 years old. Javon Blair, he's a guard, 6'4", 190 pounds. He played for Georgetown. He's a rookie. He's 24 years old. Micah Potter, he's 24 years old, played for Wisconsin. He's 6'10", he's a forward. MJ Walker, he's a guard, 6'5", 213 pounds, 24 years old, played for Florida State. Amir Sims, they got Amir Sims down as a rookie. I don't know if that's correct, but Amir Sims, he's a center, 6'8", 245 pounds, 23 years old, played for Clemson. I don't think that's right. He's not a rookie. I think he came last year. Maybe
Or even 2 years ago. I don't think he just got signed to an NBA contract. That's why they might consider him a rookie.
Maybe. Yeah, you might be right about that. Vince Edwards, he's a forward, 6'8", 225 pounds, played for Purdue. He's 26 years old. Quentin Rose, 24 years old. He's a rookie, played for Temple. He's a forward at 6'8". Garrison Brooks is a center at 6'9", 230 pounds. He's a rookie, played for Mississippi State. Farron Hunt, he's a forward, 6'8", 195 pounds, 23 years old, played for Southern Methodist. Jericho Sims, we know about Jericho Sims, center, 6'10", 245 pounds, just received a 3-year contract from the New York Knicks. And then you got Jan Montero, 6'3", 175 pounds. He's a guard, 19 years old, with the Dominican Republic or the Overtime Elite he played for. Right. I want to get into this conversation about Miles McBride and Montero, because Tony, you have a take about Montero and Miles McBride, and I want to know what you guys think about it.
I think he's going to put pressure on Miles McBride, because the thing I think McBride lacks in his game is just being aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing that Montero is going to be out the gate. So And he's a skilled guy as well. So it's not like it's just blind aggression with Montero. Like he has some talent. I think Deuce is talented too, and he's shown the aggression in the G League, but I think he needs to show it more consistently. This is another opportunity for him to just be aggressive out the gate, because if not, you know what I mean, that other guy could be coming for a spot.
What do you think, Andy?
It's a long journey for him though. You know what I mean? Because he got. I think he's still got to work his way up the ranks.
Right.
So it's two-way first.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Earn his way up, but he's coming.
What you think, Andy? You think Miles got to watch his back?
Listen, I bet you that the first week that they're in the big leagues, Miles is going to be, asking for his favorite donuts from John Montero. He's going to be his rookie probably. So, no, jokes aside, I saw only highlights of Montero, right? He's a really, explosive guy and stuff like that, but he's skinny. He is really skinny. So I don't think his body is ready to bump around these guys. Listen, even a guy like Miles McBride, he looks like a tank compared to Montero, right?
Yeah,
so
no doubt.
We see even more and more players in the NBA without a filled frame having success. But I don't think he's that quite talented. Is talking about Montero that he's gonna break the rotation of the Knicks and suddenly become a sensation in the NBA. Is he gonna put pressure on McBride? I think McBride is not one of those guys that is going to be afraid of that. What we got to remember is he has a whole year with extra practices under Tibbs.
True.
So I think that gets him way more confidence, and Montero needs to be like that clear sensation to Tibbs even look at him.
Right.
We know how Tibbs is with his rookies. He needs to see things happen before anything else. So
right. The thing about Montero, when I look at him, I think he has offensive skill that McBride doesn't have. It's just like the fluidity of his game. You know what I mean? And he's just more fluid, faster. I think he's got a more natural footwork than Miles McBride has. Miles McBride might be tougher and a better defender though. So I guess we'll see which way that it goes. But I don't know. I mean, when you look at who's probably going to start tonight, it'll probably be McBride and then Grimes, Jericho Sims, Trevor Keels, and then I don't know where they go from there. You know what I mean?
Amir Sims, vet.
I guess maybe Amir Sims or something like that, right? Maybe Amir Sims or Farron Hunt as one of those other forwards out there. Looking at the roster now, well, Amir Sims is a center, so I mean, I don't know if they're playing him at a forward.
Yeah, but he's 6'8", so
he's 6'8", though, right? He's 6'8".
Yeah, I think he's like a power forward.
Yeah, he's 6'8".
Depends on his skill set too.
Yeah, his skill set. Farron Hunt, though, I think he plays like a small forward, power forward as well, so he could start at that small forward spot.
I would think it's him just because he got the two-way.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's like
that's true.
Pecking order.
Yeah, he's 6'8", 195 pounds, so he kind of fits that small forward position as well. You know what I mean? But that's going to be an interesting battle, though. You know what I mean? I think that's going to be an interesting battle. What are you expecting? Or not, I don't want to say what are you expecting, right? Because I think you're right, Andy. I don't know if we have any expectations right now. What do you want to see from Quentin Grimes? Let's start there as far as his development.
Yeah, listen, I want to see, like Tony said, something that we didn't see him use in the previous season of his NBA career, right? So we know he can catch and shoot. We know he can sometimes take a guy off his dribble when a closeout is coming at him. I would love for him to maybe show us a little bit of pick and roll game, maybe like a post move when he's gonna have a smaller guy on him. We gotta realize that Tibbs is not gonna put him in a situation that he's playing in the post or he's gonna be running the pick and roll with Mitch or someone else. But just showing that out, versus not in practice versus practice guys, just in a competitive game is like advertising yourself, right? That you have that in your pocket, you can probably do it, and maybe he's gonna consider it, to use it in the big leagues. And listen, I'm not saying that Grimes' career is going to be short because he doesn't have anything else, because we see tons of 3-and-D guys in the league, and they're like couple of like 12, 15 years careers for these guys. But adding a move here and there is always going to make you better as a player. So, and listen, for me, the off season is to teach, learn those individual skill sets, those moves, because you're not going to be able to practice team defense. You're not going to be able to practice, offensive sets. But the things that you practice at individual skill sets in the off season.
Yeah. Tony, what do you want to see as far as Quentin Grimes' development tonight, or
Let me ask you
or
real
throughout
quick.
summer?
Is it 12 minutes? Is it 12-minute quarters?
Or 10, I think
it's
maybe,
10-minute
right?
quarters.
Yeah,
10-minute quarters.
10.
Yeah.
I want at least 20 shot attempts. Right?
20.
Yep. I want
that's a
with
lot.
the warm-up,
10-minute
with
quarters.
the warm-ups.
nope.
That's a lot. You don't think that's a lot for 10-minute quarters?
Nope.
Sheesh.
That's 5 a quarter. That's 5 a quarter.
I mean, Randall averages like 17 a game in 12-minute in a 12-minute game.
Hear me out though. Hear me out. Because I got 12 of them are threes, right? I want at least 7 catch and shoots,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other 5 3-pointers. I want to see you self create. You know what I mean? So 7 catch and shoots threes, 5 self create threes, and then the other 8 shots could be whatever, somewhere maybe a mid range pull up, a couple to the basket, whatever. Let's say 18. Let's say 18. You know what I mean? But I want 12 threes. I want 12 threes. I want 7 catch and shoots and 5 self creations. And I think that's, I'll be happy with that. And I'm not even worried about the percentage like right now, just because I know he's a good shooter. You know what I mean? Especially on them self creations. If you miss all 5, but they, they were good shots, and I see you working on it, I'll be happy. Them catch and shoots, I'm not worried about. I think he'll shoot a good percentage.
I'm really focused on the self creation. That's what I'm worried about. I want to see him being able to go off the dribble, pull up off the dribble, go to the basket off the dribble. That's what I want to see from his game. I know when we had his trainer on, and you guys can go back and check that out, he talked about Grimes' ability to be an all-around player, and he talked about his ability, that really hasn't been seen in the NBA yet or tapped into, to go off the dribble, to handle the ball, to go off the dribble, to create for himself. And I'd like to see him be able to, catch the ball, couple 1 dribble, 2 dribble pull-ups in the mid-range. You know what I mean? I'd like to see that from him. I believe he's going to naturally, I think he's 3-and-D. So I don't think that's an issue. I want to see him be able to go off the dribble, right? Because, people are talking about his ability to be a starter for the Knicks in that shooting guard role. I think it's going to be important if he is a starter that he can go off the dribble, that he can create every once in a while. When the shot clock, runs down and he gets the ball and he has to go, he can go and create a shot and convert it. You know what I mean? So that's what I want to see from Quentin Grimes. His ability to create. And I'll be looking for that throughout the entire summer league. Does he have that ability to create? Hopefully, he plays for the whole summer league. I think he will. But yeah, I want to see his ability to create, go off the dribble, pull up that mid range, knock it down. What do you want to see from Jericho Sims, Tony? I'll come back to you and come up to Andy. What do you want to see from Jericho? Tony? Yeah.
I thought you said you come back to me. Going to Andy. All right. Jericho, self creation down low. You know what I mean. I want to see you expand that offensive game. Solid rebounding, solid defense. I mean, I don't expect much. So just be good at what you already do well. Help defense, recovery. But yeah, I'm not expecting much. Just be solid. You know what I mean? No mistakes. Show that you're a veteran. You're a year in.
Yeah. I think I'd like to see Jericho shoot some threes.
I was going to say the same things.
Yeah. Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, I was going to say that one thing is the threes. The other thing is like the mid-range jumper, like the free throw line extended. We know that Tibbs back in the Minnesota days and the Bulls days, his offense had big guys taking shots, from the baseline, not only threes, just the twos, but also the free throw line extended. And aside of that, I think, on defense, offense, we all know what Jericho can do, and I don't think you can extend that much more. And listen, he got that 3-year contract. I would love for him to smile to the camera for us. He got that, secured. So that would be something, cool.
That man is not smiling. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick.
It's not gonna happen.
Ron, was that a black bottle?
In fact, it was, Tony. That's right. Black bottle. If you don't know, this is greatness lies within. Okay, make sure you get one of these, man. Support Black Bottle, black owned.
Where can I get one of those?
Well, actually, all you have to do is go to blackbottle.com or look for them on Instagram at Black Bottle.
Thanks, man. I'm gonna get me one of those.
Black Bottle, ladies and gentlemen.
There you go.
Black
Very
Bottle.
nice.
Bonafide love, achieving culture change. There you go. Got it memorized.
There you go.
Got it memorized. Ron, we're talking about Summer League, man. We're talking about Jericho Sims and what you would like to see, the kind of development you would like to see from Jericho Sims.
Okay, Jericho. Well, first off, salute to the chat. Salute to everybody. Thank you for tuning in to MBK Programming. As always, the best programming you can find outside of still nickname. Anyways, salute. Shout out to Andy, Tony, Sim, as usual. Oh, and big shout out to Steph, Queens Court Dope Soul Sports Talk, for filling in last night and rocking with us on the NBA Report.
I seen that. Yeah, it was dope.
Yeah, Jericho, I think I just really want him to be confident, be comfortable, and kind of build off of what we saw towards the end of the season last year when they started giving him a little bit more, time to be the guy. He looked like a very strong rebounder. I think that the most interesting thing about him is how many opportunities he had to put the ball back in the hoop after getting a rebound, but he didn't do it. Like, he's very hesitant. I want him to be a little bit more aggressive. If you're that close to the hoop and you got that type of leaping ability, come on, get up there, young fella. Let's see what you can do. Put it back. I want to see a little bit more of that. I also would love to see him really work on trying to shoot a little mid-range jumper, because one thing I noticed about him as opposed to Mitch, his form with his shot is not bad at the free throw line. I mean, he's got those big arms, so maybe the touch is not there, but the form is not horrible. So I think it would be nice if he could work on that a little bit, because honestly, and I'm going to say this about Mitch too, Jericho and Mitch, their biggest issue is not about the fact they don't have a great offensive game. It's about the fact that they can't hit free throws. And if you get in a situation where it's close games and you need a defensive stopper who's a big and you want trust at the free throw line, they're going to be going to that guy Hartenstein. So they need to do what they got to do. I think that's important.
Yeah. Again, Jericho, I like what Andy was saying though. Not that I don't like anything else, but I really do like what you were saying, Andy, about
The smile.
him shooting, or the smile, the smile, right? Him shooting the mid range a little bit. Seeing if he can develop that. As a matter of fact, me and Tony, I think it was last night, right? Tony, we were having a conversation about Jericho Sims and if maybe there's some kind of a 2-year plan to see if he can, within 2 years, be able to
Expand.
step into that backup role. Maybe he develops his jump shooting ability a little bit. We seen him last year pull a couple of jump shots in summer league. Maybe I don't think it's natural for him though, right? But maybe they give him 2 years. Say, hey, let's see where you are in 2 years. After 2 years, we'll make a decision between you and Hartenstein. You know what I mean? They're both the same age, believe it or not.
Yep.
They're both the same age. So, you would think, maybe, you're onto something because Hartenstein's contract is just 2 years. Jericho Sims is 2 years and then the team option for the third year. So I guess we'll see where that goes. D Public Enemy, he said that commercial is worse than Obi's car commercial.
That's
on,
because it wasn't scripted.
Right. That makes it worse for Obi. Right? That makes it worse for Obi because it was scripted. This was just impromptu.
That's right.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Thank
pretty
you.
good to be an impromptu,
Matter
impromptu.
of fact, you should clip it.
Sure, we should clip it. Exactly. Clip it. Send it to Black Bottle. No doubt. There's a link in the description, by the way, so you can go check that out if you want to. Miles McBride. What about Miles McBride? Andy, you got him behind you in the wall.
Yeah, Sim, I'm expecting him to be the floor general and basically the captain of this team. I understand that maybe Grimes got more minutes in the NBA, but I'm expecting, McBride to be the captain, the general of this team, leading by example with the ball in his hand, distributing the ball, play calling. I don't know if that's Yoshimoto is one of those coaches that is literally going to call every play, or if he's going to have a free hand for Deuce to pick the plays and run the offense his way, his feeling who's hot, who's not, and stuff like that. I hope he's going to be able to do that, as we saw in the Westchester Knicks. He definitely could do that. I'm also expecting some great ESP with Jericho Sims. We saw that with the Westchester Knicks in the G League. Those guys connect on plenty of easy buckets and great plays together. So I don't really have expectations from him because I think I literally saw everything possible from him, just maybe confidence-wise and leadership-wise. I know this isn't the main team, but I think he should easily corral these young guys under his wings and lead them. So
Yeah.
and I'm going to judge him after not only one game, just after the whole summer league.
Right.
So
Right. And listen, he's going to, when you're looking at the roster right now for the Knicks, he's going to have to do his work in summer league, in training camp, in the G League, because who's he playing over?
yeah,
On the big boy team, who's he playing over? Right? He's not playing over Jalen Brunson. He's not playing over IQ. He's not playing over Derrick Rose. So he's gonna have to get his. That's where he's got to get his burn. Summer league, training camp, G League, those things. He's got to get his burn there. Tony, anything that you want to see from Deuce though?
I'll start with what was his calling card, I guess, defense.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe some full court press, just tenacious defense, make it difficult, and make it difficult as long as you can. You know what I mean? So if it's 24 seconds of defense, then it's 24 seconds at a time. But I think number one, that's gonna be his calling card if he could even get you talking about who he's playing over. I think that's what he's gonna have to do to carve his niche,
Right.
and really just be that special there. But other than that, aggressive on the other side of the ball as well. So I want to see him playmaking for others. I know his capability scoring, so I don't necessarily want him passing up shots.
Right.
Maybe consistency with the shot, but I really want to see how he can create for others, and then how disruptive he could be defensively. I think those are the things that might get him some minutes, in the real games.
Yeah, those minutes are gonna come far and if you in between. You know what I'm saying? Ron, what's your take on Deuce, man? What do you want to see from Deuce?
Well, let me say this real quick. Get you guys one of these. I'm not sponsoring the black bottle thing. I'm just saying in general. Salute to them though. If you do want to get one, definitely try to get one of theirs. But just get one of these and fill it up with water, man. It forces you to drink water. I have a bad problem with drinking water, but since I got this, I'm drinking water all the time.
There you go.
Public health and safety out there.
There you go.
Anyway, I mean, if you guys know me, my favorite player on the Knicks is RJ. My second favorite player is Deuce, which is crazy because Deuce hasn't done anything. So I'm going to say I think Deuce and Grimes will dominate this summer league for the Knicks. I expect Grimes to be over 20 points. I expect Deuce to be over 15. I mean, you may not say that's dominating, but for me, I think that is if he can be consistent with it. I also would love to see Deuce with maybe 3 or 4 turnovers per game. I know you're like, what? Well, who wants to see that? Because basically what I want to see is Deuce being aggressive. I think Deuce's turnover to assist ratio is always fantastic because he doesn't take a lot of chances. He's very safe. Right. He's very controlled. Right. I want to see Deuce try to push the envelope a little bit and be a shot creator and orchestrator. But in order to do that, you got to feel comfortable, throwing yourself out there, making some plays that may not work, but you got to try. And that's what I want to see from him because the knock on him has always been his first step and how he doesn't have that quickness that you need to break down guys and get to the rim. Okay, well, show us you can do that by being aggressive. You may not have that first step, but there's other ways to be aggressive. There's guys in the NBA don't always have all the physical attributes, and they've been successful. So I think Deuce should be able to be in that same realm. I just want him to be more aggressive.
Yeah, okay, all right. I definitely agree, taking more chances. You know what I mean? And sometimes that's going to lead to a higher turnover ratio, but this is the time to do it, right? This is the time to do it. Let me get to Lou Dort. I'm sorry, Uncle Fulio. Uncle Fulio. Let me get to Uncle Fulio. Uncle Fulio, what's going on, man? What's popping?
Salute, Sam. Salute, fellas. How y'all doing? Always great to be back on. So, listen, I think aggressiveness is a key word for a lot of these second-year guys coming back. They're on a team right now. A lot of times during the season, you see they play with the big group, right? The veterans who've been around the NBA for at least 2 to 3 years. Now these guys are the veterans in this particular locker room, in this particular group. So they need to basically show leadership, right? I agree with the aggressiveness part as far as McBride is concerned, running that offense, taking some chances. This is the time to do it. Like you said, Sam, with Quentin Grimes, Tony, I don't think he's going to score that many points, not in summer league. I think that's a little bit far-fetched. Obviously, anything is possible in a basketball game, but I think that's a little bit far-fetched for Grimes. Big thing for him, I just want to see how he recovers from that injury. I know last year we've seen him come back from his injury, and he wasn't the same player. He was a little bit tentative, maybe some remnants of still being injured a little bit. So I'm going to say if he's fully back to the Quentin Grimes we knew before he was injured, which was he was letting it go. When that ball hit his hands, he was ready to shoot that basketball like no tomorrow. And with Jericho Sims, to me, it's really simple. Keeping the ball high on the offensive glass. A lot of times when you see Jericho Sims get rebounds on the offensive glass, he tends to bring it back down and make himself smaller. Keep the ball high. He's a really, really strong guy, but he needs a little bit more skills around the basket as far as on the offensive glass. Now, those are the major things that I'm looking forward to seeing from our guys who are coming back from last season.
Yeah, and you know what? Last season, he did that a lot. He would get the rebound. He didn't even look to go back up sometimes. Right. Get the ball, rebound, and automatically look to go back out, kick it back out. I think during the end of the season, towards the end of the season, he started to, be a little bit more conscious of going back up. And I think I actually seen some assistant coaches kind of yelling like, hey, go back up with it. Go back up with it. Score, score off of the offensive rebound. So I would definitely like to see Sims do some more of that during summer league. Go back up. He's gonna have, if plays tonight. What's his name from Golden State?
Wiseman.
If Wiseman plays tonight, that's gonna be good competition for him to go up against. And start to show some of the things that we're talking about with Jericho Sims. Those are the guys that we know are on the roster already. Well, Miles McBride, what's his contract like? What was his contract?
I think it's a non-guaranteed second-round pick. He doesn't get guaranteed money, but he's going to be on the roster. He's going to be on the 15-man for sure.
I don't remember what kind of contract they gave him last year. If it was 1 year, it was 2 year. I guess maybe it's the same as Jericho Sims. I think Jericho Sims he had like a team option this year for like $500,000 or something like that.
Jericho was on a two-way though. Deuce wasn't.
Yeah, Jericho was on a two-way, and Miles McBride has a team option for the next season.
For how much is his team option?
For this year, it's 1.5, and it's picked up. But the next season is 1.8.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. So he's secure at least. You know what I mean? So that's a good thing for him. That's a good thing for him. He's secure. For the guys that are new to the team, and I'm really just talking about Trevor Keels, Montero, what do you want to see from those guys? Josh, I'll start with you, and I'll come back around the horn.
Well, listen, second-round picks don't tend to make make that much noise in the NBA. I know there's some outliers. You got the Jokic's and other second-round picks, Middleton, I believe. So it's going to be really tough for them to kind of stay in the NBA and kind of set their footing. This is the time for them to basically take chances. Don't be tentative and play aggressive. Don't be tentative and to play aggressive. They need to play aggressive basketball. Show why the reason they were drafted, some of the things that they did well in college. How that's going to be able to translate to the big league game. I understand this is not the big leagues per se, but this is the next level in their NBA career. So they need to basically take everything they did from their college games and bring it over into this summer league. And let's see, they're on two-way contracts, so their money is not guaranteed. They might get some time at the end of the bench. I think it's like 50 games or something like that they are going to see some time on the bench, but they're going to spend a lot of that time in the G League. So this is just the beginning for them in that regard.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm going to get back. I just wanted to make this one comment. What I was looking at, I guess the two-way contract players make $500,000.
Yes.
Right. And that's what Jericho Sims was making, $502,000 on the two-way contract. And Farron Hunt is making $502,000 on that two-way contract. But then, of course, Jericho Sims he's just on the roster, taking one of the 15-man roster spots. Ron, as far as Trevor Keels, Montero, what are you looking to see from them during Summer League?
Well, even though I would like Deuce to dominate because I think he's got a little bit more experience under his belt and knows what to expect, I do want to see that dynamic of how Deuce, Montero, and Keels run the point guard situation, how they go back, how they play off of each other, because I would assume that they'll definitely try to run all of them in some off guard situations where they're, maybe two of them are playing with each other, playing together. Pause. You know what I meant. Anyway, yeah. So I would assume that that's going to be something they do, which should be interesting. But I really want to see. I'll tell you one thing. I mean, I wasn't that high on Montero. I mean, he's one of the guys that when we were doing draft stuff, we covered him. So I liked his game, but I thought the Knicks could, those other guys the Knicks could have got, that I was really excited about. But reading more stuff about Montero is liked by a lot of people as undrafted talent. Yeah. So I'm like, we might have something there. And then you got Keels, who we kind of know he's like a bully ball type of style, rough, rugged. But he's coming into Summer League, I think they said 15 pounds lighter, so maybe he was working on his quickness. This is interesting to me. I'm really excited to see how this works. I want to see Montero do what we've seen him do, and why people are so high on him. But I really want to see how Keels can kind of start taking control and be a little bit of an offensive force, because in Duke he was behind three other options. So it's nice to see if he can kind of push himself to the forefront and let it all hang out.
Man, he's 18. He's 18, doesn't turn 19 until August. So he's very young. Very young, and he's gonna have a chance to grow and develop a little bit, and in the Knicks farm system, that's what you want to call it. And then in a couple of years, we'll see what's going on with Evan Fournier and Quentin Grimes and those guys, and then see what Trevor Keels is. Tony, what are you expecting to see from those two guys?
First of all, you're right. 18, Montero 19. So that's one of the things that I really like about them is they're young enough and don't have that pressure on them. I mean, Montero's gonna play like he playing for a spot anyway, whether he gets the two-way spot or not. Like he's gonna play like he's trying to get on the roster. And Keels, I love the fact that he's 18. We have time to watch him develop into whomever he's gonna become. It's no pressure on him. But I want to see defense. I want him to be the kind of that Swiss Army knife guy that we lost in Burks down the road. You know what I mean? I want him to be a guy that does the dirty work. You know what I mean? Dives on the floor, plays hard-nosed defense, and hopefully everything else kind of develops and becomes a plus.
Yeah. What about? I don't know. What did you say about what do you want to see from Montero? I don't recall if you just said it.
I mean, I expect him to put pressure on the opposing team at the basket. He's a pretty good playmaker. He has a motor, so it's going to be nonstop. I think he has something to prove for a couple of reasons. One, I mean, I seen him in first round mocks, late second round mocks, and we talk about undrafted guy. So I think he's going to play with a chip on his shoulder even more than he would have already. So aggression and see if he can finish. Be efficient and bring something on defense, because that seemed to be the question mark on him, especially with his stature.
Yeah.
Or lack of.
Andre Bryant said Montero is playing for all teams. I doubt the Knicks even bring or invite Montero to training camp. Actually, I believe he has an Exhibit 10 contract, which includes an invite to training camp. So I think he's already coming to training camp.
That's correct.
Yeah. I think he's already coming to training camp. Andy, your thoughts on those two guys and what you want to see from them this summer league?
Listen, Montero, I'm with Tony with this dude. I think he's trying to showcase his skill set. I hope it's not gonna hurt his team style of playing. Like he's gonna try to take over the game by himself. I hope that's not going to be the case, because like Tony said, he might try to show all the doubters, that didn't pick him and stuff like that he should be picked. And, that sometimes that's the bad way to go, and it brings too much pressure on yourself. I hope he can, ride it out and have a good summer league. Meanwhile, listen, on Trevor Keels, I'm not going to lie, Sim. When we traded that first round draft pick, I was thinking that the guy that we're going to pick in the second round is literally not going to make the roster. And that's the same case with Trevor Keels for me. I think at best, he's going to be at the G League squad, because second round picks are unguaranteed. Other thing that is suspicious, he's from Duke, where RJ is from.
Wait, what does that mean, Andy?
No, you know why? Because I think that might be one of those favors that you do for one of your.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I think that might be the case, and you know why? Because
they didn't play together though, right?
Yeah, I don't think they know each other.
But it doesn't matter. Listen, it's from your alma mater. Maybe they didn't have a guy that they liked, so they pulled that kind of a favor. And listen,
I think they like him though.
Listen, now when we saw all the highlights, all the Knicks fans gonna try to find something positive, and I don't want to be the one that only looks at the negatives. But to be true, I really think that Keel's decision to enter the draft. Listen, if he was projected to be a second round pick, almost every time it's better to stay 1 year longer in college, right? To rise up. Why didn't he do that? Probably he was afraid that when the draft is going to have all those young guys, he might not even get drafted, or he's still going to be in the second round. I think that was the case with this guy, and I hope I'm really wrong on this one, but I don't know why I have that feeling that he literally entered the draft so he has the better chance to get drafted in this draft than the futures round, futures year draft.
I disagree. I disagree because I think he had guys in front of him already this year. I don't know what Duke's incoming class is projected to be.
I know Jarrell said that they're supposed to be is a strong incoming class.
Exactly. So
Okay,
he would still be like a guy off the bench, and he still, might have.
But that's
have
what
a
I mean.
chance, so
even with that, nothing really changes for him if his role wasn't going to change on Duke. I mean, it may have been easier for him. I don't know if it had to do with the draft class per se.
I think Andy was talking about the level of coaching while staying in college, still getting that level of coaching and seasoning at the college level before you make the jump to the NBA.
Yeah,
I think that's what Andy was talking about.
yeah, exactly, Josh.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna blame it on Jarrell, bro. He put me on this.
I'm hoping he does well.
Yeah, of course.
He's from Clinton, Maryland, and that's like 11 miles from town that I live in. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping he does well. I like to see him do well and come back to Clinton and put on some camps and do some things like that. So I can go interview him. No, that's not. Just
give Sim some tickets or something.
Sim, you better not come in the interview and the guy's like, "Oh, I remember you bully balled me one day, on some floor, right? Whatever." Right. So,
yeah. I was just gonna say, I mean, listen, he's a Dookie, and Duke is my alma mater, even though I never went there. Shh. But the point is, I think he'll be okay. I don't know how good he will be. I just wanted to say that before the draft and looking at all these players, especially guys I had no idea about, and trying to just Google their names and find out history about them, I did see a lot of positive things about Trevor Keels, and there was one article about him saying this is the best player that nobody knows. So I mean, I don't know. Look, he's got the heart, he's got the defensive mentality and that grit, that motor looks like it's a tough motor. So maybe he surprised some people. We'll see.
Let's hope so.
Any other players on the Summer League roster that you're really interested in and, you think could, be a surprise player that, pops out of nowhere and makes something happen? Ron, I see you shaking your head.
Muted.
You're muted, Ron. You're muted, Ron. You're muted, Ron. Maybe he means to be muted. I don't know.
No. Sorry. I was looking at. I wanted to pull the picture up again because I'd be forgetting names.
Oh.
And I keep doing this. My freak, I keep hitting the mouse, and the mouse don't have a battery in it.
Oh.
Listen, come on, man. Anyway, so two guys that I'm interested in. I know some people are interested in Garrison Brooks from North Carolina, but I'm a Duke fan and I don't like North Carolina, so it is what it is. But Micah Potter, I think, is someone we should pay attention to. I think his game is pretty interesting. And Vince Edwards is the guy that I'm going to be looking at. I like Vince Edwards' game. Sadly enough, the other person I'm looking forward to him having a good summer league, but I don't think he's going to be retained by the Knicks, is Amir Sims. I feel bad for that guy, man. But
I don't think he's going to be retained by the Knicks. And before I get around to anyone else, just real quick, the Knicks have waived Taj Gibson.
$5 million.
So that's $5 million, and I think they've announced the rights to Ryan Arcidiacono as well.
Right. Does anybody know what Arcidiacono was making?
I don't remember. I think though that
it was non-guaranteed money anyway.
Yeah, but I think though the Knicks now have maybe somewhere around $9 million.
Well, and then if they sign Jericho, that's probably eating into that.
It might be eating into that. I
thought Jericho Sims was the exception, though. I thought that's what I read somewhere.
I think he and Harstein can split the exception.
Right. I think it all depends on what happens with Jalen Brunson.
Circumstances. Yeah.
It all depends on those circumstances. So, clearly something is happening. They've come to some kind of a decision about how they're going to address Jalen Brunson, whether it's going to be a sign and trade or just signing them in the cap space or however they're going to do it. They've come to some kind of decision, and this is the reason why they've waived Taj Gibson and Ryan Arcidiacono. So maybe this means that they are looking and bringing somebody else in.
Yeah, Carmelo.
Yeah, that's what I think they've been trying to do.
Contract is going to be.
Yeah, it could be. We were talking about it last night. We were talking about it last night. If it's going to be Melo, how's it going to look? Where's it going to go? Is he going to be happy with playing a situational role? You know what I mean?
That's very subtle, Sim. How you put that there? That's
What? What? That's
or whoever put that. That's very subtle. Nice.
I think that was Tony that put that there.
All right, I confess. It was me.
Oh man. So, I guess we'll see what goes on after this. Do you think that the Knicks bring back Taj Gibson?
I wouldn't be mad at it. I think
As a player or as a coach?
As a situation
either way, I wouldn't be mad at it. What's the roster count right now? I mean, we opened up 3 spots, right? Because we didn't bring any players back.
The Knicks opened up 3 spots, and they brought in 2 players, and then they signed Jericho Sims, so that takes up those 3 roster spots right there. Because Jericho Sims was a 2-way player.
Yeah.
Right, but now if they waived Taj, that's a spot.
So that's a
And
spot.
then Ryan,
one.
that's another spot. So they got 2 spots.
Okay, so they got 2 spots.
Okay, so yeah. Melo and Taj, bring them back.
So Tim, I'll say this. Listen, Taj Gibson to me was our most versatile defender last year, particularly as a big, can be able to guard centers, can be able to guard power forwards. Also a really good screener as an older guy. But I feel like Hartenstein basically replaced him. He's a younger version of Taj Gibson for some of the intangibles that he brings. The ability to stretch the floor, the ability to be versatile on defense, which I've been saying the Knicks need someone like that in the front court that's not over 40 years old, so to speak. So I think there's no real need to bring Taj Gibson back. If I'm going to use that last spot,
I disagree with
I'm
that.
going to. I'm going to bring in Carmelo Anthony. I think Carmelo Anthony can fill that same leadership void that Taj Gibson had in the locker room. If you're going to bring in a veteran guy, I would bring in Carmelo Anthony for that same kind of price, $5 million price range, veterans minimum, stuff like that. And Carmelo Anthony can give us everything Taj gave us from a leadership standpoint. And then we got Hartenstein to now fill in what Taj was giving us on the floor and then some. So to me, that's how I would go about that.
If there's 2 spots, I'll take them both. You got a offensive veteran and a defensive veteran, and not saying Taj can't give you no offense because he clearly can. And as far as value, I think I agree with Sim. Even though I want Melo back, I think Taj brings more value in that role, like as far as veteran leadership role.
How so?
Because we know he's willing to take the back seat. We don't know that with Melo yet. I feel like he will, though. I feel like he'll be willing to do it. So if he's willing to do it, I'm for him both. If we have the 2 spots and we're not waiving anybody.
I feel like one, like Tony is saying with Taj, you already know that he's willing to just take that situational role. You know it. He's willing to do that. Also, he knows everything that Tom Thibodeau wants to do. You know what I mean? And I just think that's very beneficial. And so does Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose does as well. But having 2 of those guys there, I think, you have a big man that knows what Tom Thibodeau expects from the big guys, and you have a guard like Derrick Rose that knows what Tom Thibodeau expects from the guards. You know what I mean? And not a coach that knows what he expects, but players that knows what he expects. And they're able to, translate it to the players' language. And I don't mean that in a slang sense. I'm just saying, saying it to the players so that they can understand exactly what is needed from them on the floor. I think it helps. You know what I mean? I think it helps.
I will say this though. The same argument I made last night. Melo's presence will probably be more instrumental for both Randall and Obi
I agree.
than either Taj or Rose.
And
So I do
media-wise,
want
it's going to be more important for anyone.
Yeah, he'll show you how to move in New York.
Yeah.
How to
I think-
maneuver.
Yeah, I think Sim, I think you're correct about Taj Gibson being the one to translate that to the players. But I feel like RJ Barrett's been with Tom Thibodeau for 2 years now. Randall's been with Tom Thibodeau for 2 years now, and I get it. Taj Gibson's played with him on every single team. But to me, I feel like the leaders of this team, the leaders in this organization, they need to be the one to translate that from the coach. And I understand what Taj Gibson did. I understand it's different with Taj.
It's different,
but you got a guy like RJ Barrett who you want to be the leader of the team anyway. You got a guy like Julius Randle.
I get it.
Who he has his issues or whatever, but I feel like that should be their role anyway. If we're bringing in Taj Gibson for that role, when I just feel like we can get someone better who can contribute more, in my opinion, who's also a veteran, and we can put him at in a situation where he can take a back seat. I don't think Carmelo Anthony is the same Carmelo we knew 7 8 years ago. I think this is a different Carmelo Anthony. He understands his role in the NBA, and he's not going to be playing the basketball much longer. So I just think that I would rather, if I had to pick between the two, I'm taking Carmelo Anthony over Taj Gibson. Because I think that some is better than.
I think you can bring back both of them. Bring back both of them. I think you can bring back both of them. I liken Taj to maybe not the Knicks, but at least to Tom Thibodeau, like Udonis Haslem. You know what I mean? And I think having a guy like that around is very important to your team. You know what I mean? That just knows in and out. 2 years. I mean, listen, you get a new job. It takes you 3 years to learn that new job. You know what I mean? To really know what you're doing in that new job. It takes you 3 years to really learn it. And so I can't sit and say that RJ and Julius really know every single thing that Tom Thibodeau expects in these types of situations, this situation, that situation. I think Taj and Rose, have a really good idea, and they're there to help.
So we need
RJ and Julius Randle. In a couple of years, they'll have it, they'll know it, and they'll be able to break it down to newer players that are coming in. But I think Taj is still important.
Sim, I get that. I totally get that. But don't you think it's best if we have one of those players instead of two? Like, why do we need Taj and Rose?
Because Rose can communicate it to the guards. Rose may not know exactly how to communicate it to a big man. He's a guard. He's never been a big man. He's a guard. And Taj Gibson is not going to be able to communicate that to Jalen Brunson or IQ. I think that's the important part of it.
Can I give two sides to it though? Because I think Brunson will be able to do it, especially given their history and such. Plus, with his dad being there to even be a translator to the translator, if you will. But even with Rose's history with Brunson, it kind of makes it valuable for him to be here with Brunson as well. So I think it could go either way. I'm not opposed to moving on from. If you had to choose between the two of them, who would you pick, Sam?
Me,
Rose and Taj.
If I had to choose between Rose I would choose Taj because Rose has the bigger contract. And
I was gonna say exactly the same
and we can free up the money. We can free up more money. You know what I mean? If I had to do that, I would choose Taj because he could free. We could free up more money that way.
I think the Knicks are in a very interesting situation here because you got two vets in Rose and Taj who are glue guys for the team. They've when they're out there healthy, they've given their all and actually, when they're out there healthy, they're some of the best players we got. So I think, but I'm saying this, and I'm prepared to move on from both of them. However, I want Taj to get Herb Williams' locker. Like, I think you could still get what Taj could. I think you could still get. Taj is in great shape. Taj could be a player coach, meaning he can coach and be out there running fives with the guys, showing guys where they need to be in practice. I don't see what's wrong with that. I've said it for a long time now. I want Taj to be a coach that is out there showing them on the court. And that doesn't take up a roster spot. I'm a little confused by you, Josh, why you're shaking your head. If he's a coach, he's not affecting the
but
roster.
see, the only
Williams and Jerome, all these old Knicks guys, when the Knicks weren't winning, you guys want to bring these guys back. Forget about these guys.
But those dudes, those
what-
guys aren't Taj. Taj is different.
Yeah.
Taj can still play ball. Taj could be out there showing you as a big man where you got to be. Taj can give you the move that you're supposed to be working on. He could still do that.
yeah.
That's why I like Taj.
I think you're talking about on the practice floor, right? Not in the
Correct.
game.
No, not in the game. No, yeah, practicing.
I think Josh thought you meant on the floor in the game.
But see,
Player
my
emeritus.
thing,
No.
but see, my thing, Ron. Once Taj Gibson crosses over to be a coach, the dynamic changes because now he's in the locker. He's in coaches' meetings.
He's on that side.
He's on that side.
He's one of
He's called them
them.
the ops.
It changes, right? Because
Yeah, I got
now
you.
you hear the scuttlebutt from the coaches instead of the scuttlebutt from the players.
Right.
And now the
And
players,
he's gonna start acting different too a little bit.
right? Now the players is like, wait a minute.
Players might start acting different. Like, yo,
He's
yo,
gonna be called a
Taj's
stooge.
coming. Yo,
He's gonna be
Taj
called a
coming.
stooge.
Yeah, exactly.
Be quiet.
Taj is coming. Don't you know?
Think
You know,
like,
because
yo, how Tibbs knew I said that, B?
right. You know, it changes. I think it changes the dynamic. But a guy like Taj, in my opinion, when he's a player, he can easily go back and forth between the coaches and the players. You know what I mean? You're talking about the 15th roster spot.
I just like that
We got
you know,
enough young players on the team. I like
think
Taj.
someone said it in the chat. I like the fact that, you know, if you had Taj as a coach, you know, you could easily say, all right, Taj, look, you know, this guy's hurt. This guy's out because of health and safety. I need to make you a player again. Suit up, player.
Right.
Give him
Give you a
a
10-day contract.
10-day contract.
right.
Hey, you know what's crazy? We might only need Taj 10 days at a time this year. So,
Yeah.
You take your bag with the shoes, bro.
Ron, you might be on to
We're
something,
gonna sign you on the
Ron.
plane. We're gonna sign you on the plane.
Yeah. So I guess we'll see. I think he's gonna come back. I think he'll be back. I think he'll be back on a vet minimum contract. You know,
Yeah, me too.
I don't think Melo's coming, to be honest with you. I would love to have Melo back. I don't think he's coming back. I hope so, somehow, some way. I would love, as long as he's willing to be a situational player, I would love to have Melo back on the team. You know what I'm saying? To have Melo and Rose and Taj as your situational group that are also playing mentor roles, I think would be perfect for this basketball team. Perfect.
I can see the what if story now, Sim. What if we had Melo and Derrick Rose in their prime?
Hey,
Melo, Taj, and Derrick Rose in their prime. That would have been crazy.
Hey, you know, one thing I just thought about, I've been talking about Melo teaching that jab step. I never talked about him teaching it to Cam.
Yeah.
You know, because
yeah.
Cam actually has the tools to actually move off of it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. You know, so
Saying.
So if we sign Melo might be the oldest player that the crowd is calling for to come off the bench. Right? they're gonna be chanting like Melo,
right.
and we're down like 20 or up like 20.
Oh,
They're
man,
gonna be
that's
chanting
happening.
Him
Melo.
or Rasheed Wallace, one of the two.
yeah.
True.
She-
Yeah.
It used to happen with she too, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so-
I can hear that happening. You know what I mean? Yeah, he'll play that Andre Iguodala role. Just like he did in Golden State. You know, probably not for a championship anytime soon, but you know, he'll play that kind of role. We'll see where it goes from there. The Knicks waived Taj Gibson. They renounced the rights to Ryan Arcidiacono. So we'll see what the Knicks, how this all plays out. It tells me, though, that something is happening. There's some kind of progress in the Jalen Brunson sign and trade talks. Either it's going to happen or not going to happen. The Knicks are it's probably either going to happen through they're just signing him into their cap, or they're doing that whole over the cap sign and trade thing, and the Dallas Mavericks still get a $12 million trade exception, and so the Knicks have to waive Taj, renounce Ryan Arcidiacono so that they free up more money, so that they're not over the cap, whatever. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe we'll learn something by later on tonight, tomorrow, or early next week. Last thing before I get out of here, do you expect any of the Knicks players the roster players to be at Summer League, supporting these guys.
We saw already IQ and Obi there, so
IQ and Obi's
And
there.
those were the two. Those were the two because they could literally coach him through it after the game. Hey, this da 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 da. So they got that experience, and I'm sure it's fun to kind of not be the rookies. You know what I mean? Be the elder statesmen that you could kind of
Right.
get them accustomed and maybe start hazing early.
All right.
I don't see. I mean, it'd be nice to see some of them there. I don't see how. Like, it would really be nice to see Julius there. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like,
That's
Julius,
what
I think it's
that would be
possible.
really cool to see.
Protection purposes.
Right. RJ, I know can't be there. I mean, he's with Team Canada. They're doing their thing.
Right.
So that is what it is. But let me tell you something. If you see Melo in the stands, Melo's gonna be a Knick.
Hey, I don't know. A few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, there's a video of Melo training, working out, and the guys throwing the balls to him. It looked like they had New York Knicks shirts on.
Right.
I put it on Twitter,
Yeah.
and I was like, what kind of shirts do they have on? It looked like they had on Knicks shirts.
yeah, fair.
He was working out with his son. He
Sims.
was working out with his son.
Could be. And from what I hear, his son is going to school in New York. So
Yeah.
Melo's gonna be around.
Yeah, his son's going to school in New York. Christ the King. Yep. So we'll see. Anyway, anything else, ladies and gentlemen, or guys, fellas?
Yeah, Sim, the result prediction: the Knicks are gonna win versus the NBA champions today.
There we go. Knicks gonna get a win versus Golden State Warriors. Yeah. Any predictions? Oh, go ahead. You that's your prediction, Andy. Tony?
Yeah, of course.
You got a prediction?
I'm gonna say. Wait, did you say Tony? I couldn't
Yeah,
hear
I
you.
said Tony.
Oh, my fault.
25 for Grimes.
Shots taken or points?
I was saying points. So I'm gonna say 25 plus for Grimes.
Okay. Knicks win or
Over
lose?
25. Oh man. We win. We hungry.
All right. Josh?
Super sloppy. We lose by 10.
Okay. Ron?
I think we win. I'm just a little worried about the fact that Golden State has played, I think, 2 or 3 games already.
Yeah.
So they might be a little bit more comfortable than we are.
I ain't know that.
Yeah.
I think we may not get a win. I guess it's going to depend on who plays tonight for Golden State. If Kuminga and Wiseman play, that might be tough to pull out a win.
Although I haven't seen, I don't think the games that Golden State has played in the California Classic, I don't think Wiseman played. I didn't see him.
Okay, I just know he's on the roster. So I don't know.
Yeah. But we'll see. I would say I expect Grimes to get over 20, Deuce to get over 15, and I think the Knicks can win this first one. I think they'll be jacked up. Yeah. I think they can win the first one.
All right. Golden State has like 20-something players on their Summer League roster, so who knows who's going to play. They could try out anybody.
Right.
Who knows what they're going to do out there. But ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate your time. I will be on after the game to do a post-game show, so make sure you join us there. We'll talk about what we're seeing from Summer League, ladies and gentlemen, and if anything else transpires with the Knicks and signing players or waiving players or anything else, we'll update you in the post-game show. We're out of here. Be peaceful. We out. Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place to tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.